discuss Free Them All Days of Action event. My name is Demetrius with the American Friends Service Committee Michigan Criminal Justice Program. And today it is my pleasure to be sharing this space with a couple of amazing individuals in the movement, Banan and Grace, in who both will introduce themselves. With 2.3 million men and women currently in prisons, detention centers, and jails in this country, Free Them All was forged in conjunction with healing justice and peace building networks throughout the country to confront the need to facilitate a move towards freeing our incarcerated brothers and sisters, especially during this pandemic. The Days of Action was launched on the International Day of Human Rights on December 10th with carving out rights from inside the prison industrial complex, and is set to conclude on the International Migrants Day on December 18th. All events are being recorded and you can pull them up in the chat. The momentum of the Days of Action for us in Michigan began on September 12th, in which we were able to host a caravan with many of our partners throughout Michigan, which gained much attention and promoted solidarity to our sisters in the Huron Valley Women's Correctional Facility. On December 12th, we were able to promote a letter writing event for the prison population in Michigan. Unfortunately, due to the oppressive structure of Michigan's prison mailing policy, incarcerated individuals in Michigan are no longer allowed to receive any type of greeting cards, only copies. Therefore, we opted to come together and share letters of encouragement to ensure those incarcerated in Michigan during these difficult times that they are not alone. With 19,567 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and unfortunately 104 deaths, there is a continual thought being perpetuated in Michigan's prisons, voicing, "I don't want to die in prison," which is being shared in a recently released report, which you can also find in the chat. It was by just the simple actions of connecting with individuals that were incarcerated that we were able to let them know that they were in fact not alone. Also, tonight in Michigan, we will be having a Good Neighbor Project training. The Good Neighbor Project is a co-mentorship that is developed in order to connect men and women who are currently incarcerated with men and women on the outside. It is more than just a pen pal type program. It is a program that is developed with a curriculum that allows us to create the space for the men and women that are incarcerated to facilitate healing. It is based on restorative and transformative framing. And if you are interested in participating in that program, please feel free to join us tonight. That invitation is also in the link. If you have any questions or you would love to receive any information about what's happening in Michigan, please feel free to contact me at dtitus, D-T-I-T-U-S, at afsc.org. And with that, I would like to turn it over to Grace.
Hi, everyone. My name is Grace Kindeke, and I work as a program coordinator with the New Hampshire program. Our area of focus is movement building for immigrant justice, economic justice, and ending state violence. We do this in collaboration with community partners, including grassroots groups, faith communities, and others. As Demetrius said, the broader context of Free Them All is also true in New Hampshire as well. Our state underinvests in human needs programs and the infrastructure that makes for healthy communities and for healthy communities and families. In New Hampshire, COVID cases are continuing to rise, and recent outbreaks in the New Hampshire State Prison for Men and the Stratford County Jail underscore the danger. Together with local community partners, including directly impacted community members, BLM Manchester, and Never Again Action, we are holding a Communities, Not Cages car caravan and virtual rally tomorrow in Manchester on Friday the 18th. The car caravan will meet at 1:45 p.m. to circle the Hillsborough County Jail, also known as the Valley Street Jail, to show solidarity with incarcerated loved ones on the inside. And the virtual rally will start at 2:30 p.m. over Zoom. We welcome you to join us, and registration details will also be in the chat. The story of our action is based on Valley Street Jail often blends into the landscape and is overlooked by many rushing to and from downtown Manchester and the various shopping centers nearby. We chose this route for our caravan to connect the dots between the Valley Street Jail, which is a county jail, the federal building, which houses Immigration and Customs Enforcement, in the Hillsborough County Courthouse, which, in addition to being part of the pipeline to incarceration, was also the site for many weeks of a homeless encampment that was recently destroyed by state police without meaningful solutions being offered to the homeless residents there. AFSC's work connects to all three of these locations as we accompany immigrants checking into ICE, seek greater investments of public money into affordable housing and solutions to homelessness, and we work with partners to defend the rights of imprisoned people in our state. Our action tries to make clear that our communities are healthier, safer, and stronger when we invest in human beings and not in cages. I would also like to take a moment to reflect on the scheduled executions by the Department of Justice, including the most recent execution of Brandon Bernard, may he rest in power. New Hampshire's campaign to end the death penalty took 22 years and was finally won in 2019, making New Hampshire the 21st state to repeal the punishment. The New Hampshire campaign succeeded because it centered the truth, the stories, and witnesses of all manners of people, including the families of murdered loved ones, who knew that the killing of their loved one's killer would not bring them solace. The coalition work centered in values and stories which allowed so many people to change their minds to understand that we are not a healthier, safer society with the death penalty or with cages and in a system of incarceration. We welcome you to join our action, and we welcome you to join in our calls to action, including calling to our members of Congress who need to hear from us. It's on the eve, which is going to be the 18th tomorrow, of the government shutting down, and we're calling for them to cut funding to ICE and CBP. We're asking our members of Congress to invest in human needs, especially during COVID, and that all the money that we pump into detention and incarceration and the death penalty could be going back into our communities in the form of COVID relief, an eviction moratorium, rent forgiveness, and stimulus money, to say the least. I thank you all for joining us today, and I hope you can join our rally online as well. And if you're in the Manchester and New Hampshire area, you're joining us in person tomorrow. Thank you. I'll toss it over to Banan.
Thank you, Grace, for that powerful introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Banan Abdelrahman. I am the campaign coordinator at the New Jersey Immigrant Rights Program in Newark, New Jersey, where we also are focused very much on community and supporting them through legal services, advocacy, and organizing, especially and we're in hopes to have and make a dramatic difference in the lives of immigrants in both New Jersey and beyond by ensuring that immigrant voices are heard in policy debates, assisting immigrants in challenging immigration cases, and by changing the narrative around immigration issues to influence policies. And with that, with this call to action, with the Freedom All Call to Action New Jersey, we are organizing around the 4 detention centers that are in North Jersey, that where people remain held in dehumanizing conditions, and as families are being separated. There's a new COVID spread in Elizabeth Detention Center. 20% of detained friends have COVID and have tested positive, and mostly it is due to medical negligence. And friends at Bergen County Jail have had a hunger strike in the past couple of weeks. They had a hunger strike for a month, and in retaliation, the ICE has deported a few of them, has transferred a few of them to jails far from their families in the south, where families have no access to them, and they have broken up families. And in Hudson County, we are protesting the extension of an ICE contract for an additional 10 years after promises that they will let the ICE contract expire. And so with all of that, we here in New Jersey, along with many local partner organizations, have come together and organized a car caravan that will connect all 4 detention centers, starting at Elizabeth Detention Center tomorrow at 1:45 is our meeting point. And we are doing this in solidarity with all our friends who remain detained, with all the families who remain separated, and in hopes that our voices will be heard, and in hopes that by showing them and by showing ICE officials, by showing New Jersey officials that this is a reckoning, this is for your complicity in detaining people, in separating families, in creating harm, in accepting millions of dollars of contracts at the expense and bodies of families and the people we all care and love about. So if you would like to join us, we have the link. If you're in New Jersey and you would like to join us for the car caravan tomorrow, we will be sharing the link. And if you want any more information as to how you can join our cause, please email me at Banan Abdelrahman, BABDELRAHMAN @AFSC.org. I'm sorry, that's a mouthful. That will also be in the chat. Thank you all. And I don't know if there are any questions that I haven't been able to see. Yeah, Demetrius or Grace, do you have anything you would like to add about the Free Them All Days of Action?
All right. Thank you, Banan. It's just, just being a part of this amazing movement, I think is vital in this day and time. We here in Michigan have been working towards Free Them All movement at the very beginning. And it's just vital for us right now to take a stance, to position ourselves as we possibly can in order to allow our voices to be heard. Grace mentioned it earlier when she addressed the importance on talking to legislators, talking to senators, getting out there, getting the word out that something needs to be done. We need to concentrate on the fact of maintaining a sense of urgency at this time, because unfortunately, people are dying behind prison walls, they're dying in detention centers, and they're dying in the jails. So it is just vital for us to make sure to do what we possibly can to connect with as many individuals in this movement as we possibly can to promote freeing our brothers and sisters.
Thank you, Demetrius, and thank you, Banan. And I also want to underscore the same, that this work is done in collaboration and in community with one another. When thinking about the work of the campaign of the death penalty, taking 22 years, and that this work to disinvest, defund carceral and prison systems is to reallocate those resources back into our communities is ongoing work, and every small piece counts. And so I would say for those who are not in a place where actions are happening, please get in touch with your members of Congress, especially right now with the budget appropriations process. They're determining how the government will be funded into the new fiscal year. And it is so vital for folks to call their members of Congress, send emails. One thing that we learned here recently is that our members of Congress receive 5-to-1 calls against immigrant communities, against to maintain the carceral state. And so it is so vital for us to continue being in contact with our elected officials and to make sure that they know that our voices are being heard, and that's something that we can all do. We can take a few minutes every day, every week to get in touch with folks that way. And I would also say to stay in touch with us online on AFSC, on Facebook, as well as on Instagram. Each program also has their own website, Facebook as well, where you can stay in touch with us, because this is movement building work. It's ongoing work. It's learning work, and that as we continue learning not only what is it that we need to do, we also learn what else we can do in our communities, in our local communities, because all of these systems touch us wherever we are, and we all need one another in order to take them down.
And thank you, Grace. And Maria, to answer your question, how do we keep these prisons accountable for this loss of life? I echo what my colleague Grace has said in terms of holding your policymakers accountable, in terms of getting in touch with all the movements. Although there are many local movements that are working against these systems of oppression. And so if you also reach out to any of us, and we can help show you and help you research which local what local work is happening near you, and we can find a way to have this conversation with you and others who are interested. But there is always a way to speak truth to power, and it's just a little help from all of us, a little collective work. We can find a way to end and shut these systems. And thank you all for coming today. We really enjoyed this conversation and sharing a little bit of our work, and we look forward to next week's chat. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you all.